Johnny's Bar and Grill, Mexican and American cuisine with daily and weekly specials, juicy burgers, mouth-watering tacos, and more. 1519 West Highway 150 in Lincolnton.
With your look at local sports. For WHKY News, I'm Jason Savage. This evening, we begin with high school basketball. All the games were originally scheduled to be played this evening, but because of the weather, they all got moved up to last night. We start with girls' games in the Western Highlands 1A, 2A conference. Drawn defeated Rosman by the final of 66-50. In the Mountain Foothills 7-2A conference, Patton edged out by RS Central 56-52. From the Catawba Valley Athletic 2A conference last night, Newton Conover winning over West Lincoln 72-15. From the Western Foothills Athletic 3A conference, Fretty Ford edged out by East Lincoln 52-49. Hickory falls at North Iredell 53-42. St. Stephen's falls to North Lincoln 70-16. In the Northwestern 3A, 4A conference last night, Alexander Central wins over Ashe County 67-49. Freedom gets by High Brighton in overtime 47-45. South Caldwell losing to Watauga 74-55. Boys basketball action last night in the Western Highlands 1A, 2A conference. Drawn fell to Rosman by the final of 70-36. It was Patton losing to RS Central in the Mountain Foothills 7-2A conference, 56-52. From the Catawba Valley Athletic 2A conference last night, West Caldwell falls to Lincolnton 90-75. Newton Conover edging out West Lincoln 61-59. From the Western Foothills Athletic 3A conference last night, Fretty Ford fell to East Lincoln by the final of 81-41. Hickory gets by North Iredell 74-69. St. Stephen's edged out by North Lincoln 74-65. Finally, from the Northwestern 3A 4A conference last night, Alexander Central losing to Ashe County 69-32. Freedom wins over High Brighton 89-50. South Caldwell gets by Watauga by the final of 76-64. Well, Lenori-Rhyne football was ranked in the final national polls of the season. The Bears appeared in both the American Football Coaches Association and D2Football.com polls. LR earned the 16th national ranking in the AFCA poll and were number 21 in D2 football. Now, the Bears went 10-3 under first-year head coach Doug Sosha and advanced to the regional semifinals after upsetting West Alabama on the road in the first round of the NCAA playoffs. Wingate was the only other South Atlantic Conference team that was nationally ranked, as the Bulldogs were placed 21st in the American Football Coaches Association poll. The fall Learfield Directors Cup standings were released, and 9 teams out of the South Atlantic Conference appeared on the list. 6 of those were in the top 90. Lenori-Rhyne was one of those, as they finished 45th in the fall standings. Wingate led the way with a second-place finish nationally. That's the best in program history. Moving to some Appalachian State news now. Appalachian State women's basketball fell short to Troy 85-68 at home in the Holmes Convocation Center last night. Zeta Porter had 18 points for the Mountaineers. The women will be hosting Coastal Carolina coming up tomorrow afternoon. Appalachian State football head coach Dal Loggins announced the hiring of defensive assistant coach Anthony Shakir. Shakir will mark his return to the high country. Shakir was a member of Appalachian State's defensive staff from 2018 through 2020, serving as a defensive analyst during the 11-2 season in 2018, and then as a quality control assistant for the defense during a 13-1 campaign in 2019 and a 9-3 record in 2020. He was at Ball State last season as defensive line coach. Also hired was Keith Jones Jr. as a defensive assistant coach. Jones arrives in Boone after spending the last 2 seasons at the NFL level. He was a member of the New England Patriots coaching staff. And finally, for Appalachian State, the Sun Belt Conference announced that Appalachian State football's 2 West Division League opponents for the upcoming 2025 season will be Arkansas State, which will be traveling to Kidd Brewer Stadium, and Southern Miss, which will be hosting the Mountaineers in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. All 12 of Appalachian State football's regular season opponents are now official. Now, the dates for the Mountaineers' 8 conference games will be announced by the Sun Belt Conference no later than March the 1st. Well, it'll be a busy weekend across the Hickory Metro despite the weather. We will keep you updated at our website, WHKY.com.
WHKY is a family-owned company that's been in this community for generations. WHKY is connected to our local community, and our listeners are too. Show you're part of the WHKY family with the new WHKY merch. Visit WHKY.com and click on the Radio Retail Store tab. You can buy a WHKY mug, hat, and if you're a fan of local news, a Crime Report t-shirt. Remember, the Crime Report shirt is machine washable, so you can keep it clean and keep it legal. Buy WHKY merch today at WHKY.com.